Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto our apostles, as well as the men that taught them, the elder high priests, as well as the elder bishops at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Abadia from the GMS Houston camp. Things have to get a lot worse, according to biblical prophecy. Okay? We are in the last days of the so-called white man ruling and harassing, torturing, oppressing, rape, robbing, murdering the planet Earth. That's just what he has done since he's been in rulership. And before he goes down completely, or is completely taken out of power, things have to get real bad in the world, especially here in America. People here in America ain't seen what some of these third world countries have seen and been through. Pretty much the people over here in America, though, you have, this is the country that leads the world in homelessness. Okay, not in poverty, but in homelessness. America has been like and I'll say this, us Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we have been catching hell over here. Now Esau's catching hell, and these other nations over here, they catching hell from this devil too. But compared to the rest of the world, if you've been over here in America, it's like you've been living, you had a silver spoon in your mouth, so to speak. Okay? Because they hadn't really seen, devastating troubles over here. Because the government will bail the people out some kind of way, even though it may just be a ration, but you'll get something, okay? And now that's all, and all those resources are pretty much, the few that are still left, they're depleting by the second, okay? So we're in that time where things are bad. People are suffering. The scriptures tell us in Matthew 12? Hold on, let me find it. Abound. Ah, shit. Okay. Matthew 24 and 12. I'll bring that out real quick, because this is happening, but this is even going to intensify greatly. Matthew 24 and come on now. 24 and 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's happening. Okay? A lot of these Edomites are offering their wife, for whatever the reason may be, most likely adultery. Okay? People are struggling tremendously financially, so there's a lot of crime going on. Okay? A lot of death is taking place because iniquity is abounding, and not only the fact that death is taking place, people are just cold-hearted to each other. We live in a pretty cruel society, a very selfish society. Everybody's worried about themselves, and it's a cutthroat, dog eats dog world that we're living in. Okay. And all this stuff is just going to intensify. Things got to get really bad out here. And what's going to cause things to get real bad? This devil putting a squeeze on people financially. Hit you in your pockets to where you can't, provide for your family or for yourself. Come on now. Second Esdras. Let me get to it. Okay, 15. I'm going to read a few verses here in Second Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right. So more and more job loss has to happen. Okay. These we gonna see the gas prices have jumped up pretty good. Let's see what's gonna happen with that. We're looking for these gas prices to continue to go up. This society has to get to the point where people are desperate, so desperate that they're willing to do anything to survive, to eat. So let's read this, Second Esdras 15 and starting at 11. It says, but I will bring, no, this ain't the verse. Which is a good verse. I'll bring 12, start at 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai shall bring upon it. And the ultimate plague that's going to plague this man's Egypt, because it's talking about Egypt, which is America. It's not talking about ancient Egypt. In verse 11 tells us that. Let's read verse 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So this ain't talking about the ancient Egypt, because it says the Most High says he's going to smite this place, Egypt, with plagues as before. Revelation 11 and 8. All right. The great city, which is America, is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. It says, and I will destroy all of the land thereof. And all of the land of Egypt is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. And the warheads is the part that does the damage. Okay. And in verse 13, it says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. So if you've been paying attention, you know that these farmers are already doing bad. They're going through some major financial woes. All right. And something's going to take place to where, and most likely it's going to be socially engineered by this devil, to where, these farmers are going to pretty much plant their crop, and they're going to be destroyed some kind of way, or they're not going to have a good harvest at all. Okay. And things are already bad. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Now, people are still, somebody at work told me, I can't wait till the weekend. You still got niggas ready, waiting on the weekend to get here. And the world is in a shithole. Okay? Everybody's really suffering one way or the other. But it's going to take things to get real bad to where people are super desperate, okay, before they pretty much give up on this place. and that people are pretty much already there. Like things are gonna get so bad, these people are gonna know that this government is not gonna help them. But they are gonna get help. But it's gonna be a lying wonder, and that's where the mark of the beast come in at, which is the RFID microchip. So things are gonna get so chaotic, and this man's gonna come with a solution, okay? And that solution is gonna be here. Take this C hip and basically give people credits or however it look, you know, to basically survive. You know, pay their rent and get back online, so to speak. All right. And we're gonna see exactly the details on how it's gonna play out, but we know it's gonna happen. Okay, things are gonna keep continuing to spiral out of control. This place is spiraling out of control. You know, that's why when we read down, it's gonna talk about the power. And where is it at? Basically the power is gonna stand in the hands of the people. The people gonna say F this government, you know, and then they gonna buck and get the upper hand for a minute, a little while. So let's keep reading. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Yep. And the worst is yet to come. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draw nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." You know? And why? Why is this going to happen? Why are people going to be going at each other's throat, trying to kill each other? Okay? Because people are going to be suffering on a financial level even worse than what they are right now. Okay? You already got Jake. If Jake is doing bad, Jake could go, you know, you got something called stick-up kids. They don't call them that no more, but at one point, that was at a point in time, you know, that phrase, stick-up kid. And I don't think Jake is just saying, you know, I want to go out and have fun. Maybe these YNs, maybe they doing that shit for a thrill. I don't know, but you know, typically Jake is not gonna go and rob just for the hell of it. He's going to rob to, you know, come up because he's doing bad. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men." All right, and that's going into what I just said. These people are gonna say, "F this government. They ain't doing shit. They ain't gonna help us. So they really hurting us. So they gonna buck the system." It says, "And evading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." You see? And all this shit is the people are gonna be reacting for real, but the chaos is the desired effect that the elites want. They want chaos. And it's gonna be like this is I think about the movie Purge. Okay? Pretty much the Esau is gonna let these people tear this place up. All right? And there's gonna be so-called, well, I'm gonna say so-called, there's gonna be cops and politicians that get caught up, you know, and they're gonna get, whether they get injured real bad, killed, or murdered, should I say. People are going to be pissed off at certain politicians and, from city to state, federal employees, um, people in the political world, and then these cops, you know. It says, where am I at? Yep, it said, man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So it's going to get to that point. Pretty much it's going to be lockdown throughout America. You're not going to be able to travel. It's going to be checkpoints. You may get to a particular checkpoint. Okay, you can pass through. You get to another checkpoint. Okay, you got to stay here or turn back around. Or however it plays out. But people won't have the liberties. You women like to travel. Definitely not going to be getting on planes in this time. And if you want to, I'm going to, they had a spring break. No traveling. A lot of people getting their vehicles and do traveling for spring break. Well, you ain't going to be worried about spring break in this time because shit going to be so goddamn bad. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And I think about that movie, Contagious. Was it Contagious? Contagion? With Matt Damon, and I believe, what's his name? Damn, what is his name? Larry Fishburne plays in the movie, I believe. And because of that pandemic happened. It was worldwide. It was a pandemic, and they showed how America was all in disarray and chaotic. People were sick in the movie, and they were trying to get medicine, and shit was shut down because of the pandemic. So it was crime going on. People couldn't get food. People were trying to leave and get to a safe haven. And it was one scene where, it don't tell you exactly what happened, but you see a man went into a house. I believe he had a gun in his hand. I believe it showed it. Or I could be wrong. I hadn't watched the movie in a while. But anyway, he ran in the house and then you heard gunshots and he ran out with some supplies or something. Something like that. Okay? So it's gonna get more cold hearted out here. We ain't seen nothing yet. We really hadn't. Things got to get real fucked up out here. Excuse my language. All right. Yep. And they say because of pride. Yep. And pride, the scriptures say that pride goeth before destruction. And pride gets you destroyed. And this is people are proud over here in America. For what? For living in a shitty ass country. All right. A toxic, sinful, morally, they're saying the same thing. Morally depleted. There's not a stitch of moral fabric in this place. Straight up. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Second Esdras 15 and 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? And this must come to pass and will come to pass, okay, before this man is destroyed, completely destroyed. So we looking for this society to become more chaotic and people to be in worse cases, families merging, people got to move back in with family members. And that's happening right now. Household consolidation, all right? When this gas is affecting people, especially the people that got to travel a lot in their vehicles. The cost of food is ridiculous. But, these people are still, making it out here. It's going to get to a point where ain't nobody going to be making it. Okay? Everybody going to be in a bag. Something's going to happen to where there's going to be a level playing field. And it's not going to matter if you're rich. It's not going to matter if you white collar worker, you making, pretty good money. You got a couple of cars in the driveway, 2-car garage, house, got you keep groceries in the refrigerator. Something's going to happen to where everybody's going to be in need to survive, need of the basic necessities, to live. All right. And that's when this man is going to drop it on these people, or drop it on all of us. Look, you want to get out of this situation? We've changed the world economic system. It's digital, and we're doing things a different way to where, we'll never have a economic failure like this again. So he's going to present that chip, the MOTB, as the answer to the problems of this world. Okay? He's going to present it as a miracle. And he's going to get a lot of resistance from it. But then there's going to be a lot of people that's on board. So again, things has to get a lot worse. A lot of shit got to pop off. Hey, and you know what? Things can get bad quick. It ain't like, it can take weeks. Man, things can get in one damn day. Not even a whole day. Wake up in the morning, everything is calm. By noon, fucking earth is in chaos. Absolute chaos. It could happen like that. So I'm going to end the video right there. Lord willing, it was edifying. And until the next one, I say shalom.